Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're zoning in on Koh Samui. Specifically, its real estate market. It's a fascinating place.
It really is.
We've got some great insights here, mainly from a blog post by Ocean WWP. They're a luxury real estate agency actually based over in Phuket. That's P-O-O-K.
Right, and they know their stuff. Been operating in Phuket since, what, 2004?
Yeah, exactly. And the director, Sandra O'Neill, she's apparently helped thousands of people, families, investors, you name it, find properties in Phuket and, importantly for us today, Samui too.
And their focus is very much on that luxury residential end, right? So their perspective on Samui should be spot on.
Totally. So we're going to try and unpack the key trends, look at the luxury side, the environmental rules, which are pretty unique there, and maybe compare it a bit to other spots in Thailand.
Yeah, things like tourism's impact, those up-and-coming neighborhoods, sustainability, that's a big one now, how it bounced back after the pandemic.
Right, the rental market, future predictions, maybe some investment angles, and, the lifestyle factors.
Basically, we're condensing all that info from Ocean Worldwide, giving listeners the key takeaways on Samui real estate fast.
Exactly. No need to wade through tons of articles.
Yeah.
So let's dive in. Those key market trends. Ocean Worldwide identified what jumped out at you first.
Well, the big one, maybe not surprising, is the high interest in luxury stuff. Villas, resorts.
Uh-huh. And it's mainly international buyers driving this, according to the article. That feels significant.
It does, yeah. It says something about Samui's global image, doesn't it? It's not just local hype. Maybe, people looking for that exclusive escape, especially now.
Could be. And Ocean Worldwide, being based in Phuket since '04 and dealing with international clients, they'd have a good feel for that.
Definitely. They also really stress the environmental regulations over there, the building height limits, for example.
Yeah, that's interesting. 3 floors, max 12 meters. You might think that'd hold things back.
Right. But the way Ocean Worldwide puts it, it's actually part of the appeal. It preserves the beauty, stops it becoming overdeveloped.
So it actually makes it more attractive to that high-end buyer. Kind of a paradox.
Exactly. And it shapes the whole investment scene. Like the blog post says, Samui's focus on luxury, low-rise stuff. It's very different from Bangkok's condo market or Pattaya.
Creates scarcity, pushes up the value of those premium places. Makes sense.
Yeah. And the rules limit condo development too, which again, funnels demand towards villas.
And then there's tourism. Can't talk Samui without talking tourism, right?
Yeah.
Ocean Worldwide definitely flags that as a huge driver for real estate, especially rentals.
Oh, absolutely. The demand for holiday rentals, villas, that kind of thing, it fuels the investment market. They mentioned some pretty healthy rental yields in places like Beaufort.
Ah, yes. Beaufort and Chong Hills, they get name-checked as emerging hotspots. What's the draw there, according to the Post?
Seems like it's that classic Samui blend. Beautiful nature, the views, but still easy access to shops, restaurants, modern stuff.
The best of both worlds, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Attracts holidaymakers and investors alike.
Precisely. Which brings us nicely to the luxury developments themselves. Ocean Worldwide really paints Samui as a magnet for these high-end villas, pulling in wealthy buyers from all over.
And again, they link it back to those building rules preserving the island's charm. It's like the regulations are the luxury feature, in a way.
It seems so, yeah. Protected beauty. And the prices mention, 10 million up to 40 million, what's that, maybe 280K to 1.2 million US dollars for sea view or beachfront. It definitely signals exclusivity.
It's serious money. And another point Ocean Worldwide made, which I thought was clever, was the impact of the big hotel brands.
Yeah, the Conrad, Four Seasons, or Ritz-Carlton.
Right. Their presence kind of validates the island as a top-tier spot, and that lifts the whole luxury property market around them.
It's a stamp of approval, isn't it? And it reassures buyers. They also mention steady interest from expats, say from Hong Kong or the UK, looking for holiday homes or rental investments. Those sea view places are always popular.
Makes sense. Okay, let's maybe focus a bit more on those environmental regulations. Ocean Worldwide sees them as really fundamental to Samui's market identity.
Totally. That 3-floor, 12-meter limit is key. It keeps the skyline low, protects the views, stops it feeling too crowded like some other places.
Preserving the visual appeal. And like you said, limiting condos pushes demand towards those more exclusive villas and homes with views.
Yeah. But it's not just about height. Ocean Worldwide also mentions a growing focus on sustainability in the actual building process.
Oh, right. Things like solar panels, harvesting rainwater.
Exactly. It's becoming more common. It's about preserving the natural beauty in a more active way, not just restricting building height.
Which probably appeals to those environmentally conscious buyers, too. So it's this balancing act, growth, but keeping the island special. Ocean Worldwide, with their experience in Phuket and Samui, probably see that clearly.
It seems that way. It creates a unique investment proposition, which brings us to the comparison with other places in Thailand. That was useful.
Yeah, seeing the price differences side by side. Samui up there in the 20-40 million baht range for villas. You look at Bangkok, more like 7-25 million for condos, and Pattaya, way lower, maybe 2-5 million for condos. Really highlights Samui's luxury niche.
And the type of property differs too. Samui, luxury villas, beachfront. Bangkok, mainly luxury condos. Pattaya, affordable apartments. Hua Hin, maybe more sprawling beachfront villas. Ocean Worldwide lays that out well.
So the investment opportunity is different too. Samui's got this luxury focus, boosted by the hotels. Bangkok's driven by the economy and infrastructure. Pattaya is more about holiday lets. Hua Hin's steady beachfront appeal. Knowing those differences is key.
Crucial for investors. Okay, shifting gears slightly, tourism's impact. Ocean Worldwide hammers home how vital that is.
For sure. Those rental yields they mentioned, over 7% in places like Beaufort, Playlame, Charing Noi. That's got to attract investors. High demand for short-term lets in nice villas and condos.
And they specifically noted the impact of international visitors, like the surge after China reopened its borders, apparently, that pushed up property values and rental income, shows how linked Samui is to global travel.
Definitely. But Ocean Worldwide also includes a reality check, the seasonality.
Right. Peak season versus low season. Rental prices, occupancy, it fluctuates. Investors need to factor that in. Timing matter.
Absolutely. Okay, what about those emerging neighborhoods again? Beaufort and Chong Hills Ocean Worldwide says they're really gaining momentum.
Yeah, because they offer that mix, the natural beauty plus the modern conveniences, ticking boxes for holiday home buyers and investors.
And they also mentioned Chong Noi and Playlame. More laid-back vibe, apparently.
Yeah, and more focus on eco-friendly designs there, appealing to that sustainability-minded buyer. And the northeast of the island, too. Quiet beaches, good views, getting more accessible as infrastructure improves.
So these aren't just new buildings going up. They're offering a certain lifestyle, blending nature and convenience.
Seems to be the idea. And speaking of nature, let's talk sustainability properly. Ocean Worldwide highlighted this as a growing trend.
A significant one, it sounds like. They said something like 40% of new developments are incorporating green features now. That's quite a chunk.
It really is. Shows a real shift in buyer demand. People wanting homes that are, kinder to the environment.
And it's practical stuff, too. Eco-friendly materials, solar power, rainwater harvesting, like you mentioned earlier. Good for the planet, potentially good for running costs, too.
And it's filtering up into the luxury market as well. High-end homes with green features are appealing to wealthy buyers who care about sustainability.
So Samui could become a real hub for that. Eco-luxury. Given its natural setting, it makes sense.
Potentially, yeah. Now, what about the market's health, the post-pandemic recovery? How did Ocean Worldwide describe that?
Pretty strong, actually. A good bounce back in 2023. Tourists returning, investors coming back in. They noted particular demand for properties with privacy, good views.
Sounds about right. Maybe people valuing space and security more. And managed developments becoming more popular, too. Less hassle for owners.
Yeah, that too. And the remote work effect, people wanting bigger places, maybe with home offices, good outdoor space. That trend seems to have reached Samui as well, according to the blog.
So the market's adapting. And the long-term outlook, Ocean Worldwide seemed positive, right? Based on the island's beauty, better flight access, focusing on steady returns from those core luxury villas and sea view condos.
Yeah, the fundamentals seem strong. Okay, let's zoom in on the rental market dynamics a bit more. Ocean Worldwide gave some specifics there.
We know the yields can be good, over 7% in hotspots, but they also distinguish between short-term and long-term rentals.
Right, short-term, more for tourists, dominant in busy places like Chong or Beaufort. Long-term, more for expats, retirees, often in quieter spots like Mainam or Lamai.
Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
And the locations reflect that. Chong for the buzz, Beaufort for charm, Playlame or Charing Noi for peace and scenery. Knowing where suits which type of renter is vital.
Definitely. So a pretty active and varied rental scene overall. Now, looking ahead, the future outlook. What did Ocean Worldwide predict for, say, 2025?
Continued growth, basically. An upward trend. And even more demand expected for those eco-friendly properties and the managed ones.
That convenience factor, the guaranteed returns some offer,
Yeah.
sounds appealing, especially for overseas investors.
For sure. But they also flag the usual caveats, global economic stuff, exchange rates, travel rules, stability in key buyer markets. Those external factors always play a part.
Naturally. But the baseline prediction is Samui continuing as a luxury hotspot, with sustainability and convenience becoming even more important drivers.
Okay, so if someone is thinking of investing, what strategies did Ocean Worldwide suggest?
Well, for finding value, they point towards those prime properties, beachfront, sea view, in top areas like Beaufort, Choang Noi, but also look at the amenities, the infrastructure around it. Location, 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 basically.
Standard advice, but crucial. And risks.
They acknowledge them. Tourism dependency, economic shifts. Their advice is diversification. Maybe don't put all eggs in one villa basket. Consider commercial or land, too. And stay updated on regulations.
Sensible. And maximizing ROI.
Focus on rental potential in tourist areas. Keep the property well-maintained and marketed. Consider adding eco-features for extra appeal. And think strategically about when to sell.
It's a holistic approach, looking after the asset and understanding the market. Finally, they touched on cultural and lifestyle influences. How do those shape demand?
Interesting angle. Apparently, expats and retirees often look for a quieter lifestyle. Single-story homes, easy access to healthcare, low maintenance, practical stuff.
Caters to a specific need. And the design, more westernized.
Yeah, Ocean Worldwide mentioned that. Open-plan living, modern kitchens, smart home tech features that appeal to international tastes are increasingly common.
But the core luxury appeal is still huge, right? Those sea view villas with private pools, exclusivity, that dream lifestyle.
Oh, absolutely, that remains central. But they did also mention a growing interest in more affordable options to smaller condos, townhouses for locals or, expats on tighter budgets, and even some government support for that sector.
So it's not all ultra luxury. There's some diversification happening at the other end, too.
Seems like it. So wrapping this all up, our deep dive, using these really useful insights from Ocean Worldwide, the Phuket-based agency, remember, run by Sandra O'Neill, expert since 2004.
Yeah, what's the big picture on Samui's real estate?
It looks like a market defined by luxury, heavily influenced by strict but arguably beneficial environmental rules, powered by tourism and a strong rental sector, and increasingly embracing sustainability.
And it's shown resilience, adapted to new trends like remote work, and has these emerging neighborhoods offering fresh opportunities.
Exactly. So understanding all these dynamics, maybe through resources like Ocean Worldwide's blog, is pretty essential if you're thinking about getting involved in the Samui market. That blend of high-end appeal and green thinking is quite unique.
Which leads to a final thought, maybe. As Samui leans into this sustainable luxury model, how might that influence other high-end property markets globally? Could this be a blueprint? And what does it mean for investors looking at similar destinations?
Definitely something to chew on. Food for thought. Okay, a big thank you again to Ocean Worldwide in Phuket for the detailed insights that fueled our discussion today. Their long experience on the ground there since 2004 with Sandra O'Neill really shines through.
Absolutely invaluable.
And thank you, our listeners, for joining us on this deep dive into Koh Samui real estate.